Land Use and Development Committee to order. The first item on the agenda is consideration of the September 3rd, 2020 minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by member Chung, a second by member Baird. Any additions, corrections to the minutes? All right, seeing none, what we do? Roll call, so what we do?
Yeah, but did I give you my roll call?
I'm voting, I guess. Which
I
one?
accidentally give you my roll call sheet.
Maybe you did.
I didn't, but that's okay. I'll do it here with this. It'll be easy.
And Lori's here too. I don't think I marked her.
Okay.
But yeah, Lori's here. Okay.
So roll call for the minutes. Shana Wachinski.
Yes.
Thank you. Sharon Chung.
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield. She's not here. Jacob Beard.
Yes.
George Wendt.
Yes.
Lori Woolrath. Lori Woolrath.
Yes.
And Chuck, will you be voting?
Yeah. Yes, I'm voting yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm voting yes.
Thank you.
It's like an echo in there. All right. Next item on the agenda is recommendation. All right. Bills and recommendation. I apparently like to hear myself. So we got bills in the amount of $1,395.37. The auditor has approved the bills. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion by member Wachinski, a second by member Chung. I'll be voting.
Member Wachinski.
Yes.
Member Chung.
Yes.
Member Beard.
Yes.
Member Wendt.
Yes.
Member Woolrath. Member Wendt.
Yes.
I'm muted. Member Woolrath.
Yes.
And member Erickson.
Yes. Thank you.
And member Erickson.
Yes. All right, appearance by members of the public. Sorry. Do we have any?
We do not, Chairman Erickson.
Thank you. All right. First item for action is item 5A, review of the fiscal year 2021 recommended budget for the Department of Building and Zoning. That's item 5A. Phil, do you wish to discuss first?
I think maybe Camille is going to introduce this.
Okay, sorry.
No, not a problem. Thank you, Phil, and thank you, membership, and thank you, Chairman Erickson, for letting me approach. In the budget process, I facilitate an environment wherein, of course, the action items, as you see them on your agenda, are under the county administrator. But I look to each department head to be the expert in their particular areas. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Dick as he has prepared a PowerPoint that will walk you through some of the key points of his budget. And then I know that, and Mr. Dick, if you have highlighted areas during your PowerPoint or after that you would like to share with the Land Use Committee, and then we can discuss and move forward. So I will turn it over to Mr. Dick at this time. Thank you, Chairman Erickson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is my first year doing a PowerPoint with a budget, so I didn't have a big script to follow. So I thought I'd at least not be too boring with the PowerPoint. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what has happened over the year at the Department of Building and Zoning with photos of construction and photos of some of the zoning cases that have happened this year. This is a structure that was built out at Raider Farms over on Ropp Road. They had to build a new facility for restrooms, and this is their facility. It has restrooms on the inside. They needed to have this done as a commercial building and with commercial sign-offs on it, and this is what it looks like. on the inside. And we've had 22 new houses built this year. This is one that's out there toward Lake Bloomington that was built this year, and another one that was built near Crestwick that was built this year. And this is an example of a pole barn that people typically will build out in the rural area of the county. And this is what it looks like on the outside and what it looks like on the inside. And people are able to store their equipment out there. This is an example of a stable with a dwelling unit inside of it. And it's very kind of an interesting structure. So I'll show you photos of the outside, and this is part of the large room on the inside. The building also contains a residence in it, as I mentioned, which is what it looks like here. And this was when they were just getting it completed, so they don't have the outside stormwater and erosion control completed yet, so they had to get a temporary occupancy. And then as this is one of the stables where the horses can stay and the animals can then go outside.
It's a nice stable.
And this is a facility that is an off-premises business that's out in the county that you might have recalled a text amendment that allowed the number of persons to be used on these off-premises business to increase. And this is the facility of Keith Morgan out on Highway 136 near Leroy, and he's got kind of a trucking business. So most of the drivers and workers are taking place off-site, and he has an 80-acre farm on which this is located. And up until now, the facility is operated out of his house, his and his spouse's house, which is next. No, well, that's his house here. This is the photo that shows his house, and the new building that he's building is going to be to the right of this little shed here. And another example of what's going on out in the county is this is the Lake Road Inn out at Lake Bloomington, and they wanted to build a porch in the front that would allow customers to stand on and hang out in while they're waiting to get in, but it's too close to the front road right away, so they had to obtain a variance first before they could build this porch on the front of it. So if you go by there today, you'll see a porch on the outside of it. This is a NICOR building that is in north of Normal. You may know that there's NICOR stores a lot of gas underground, and this building is used to house a compressor where they compress the gas using this facility. That's what these pumps are for, is to compress the natural gas. This is the Nussbaum trucking facility. The building to the right is the one that's existing. It's on I-39 north of Normal. This is facing west. This is the east side of these buildings. The two buildings to the left are new. The one in the middle is still under construction. The one to the left, which will be shown in the next photo, is completed, and they needed to get a temporary occupancy for it until they have the erosion control taken care of. And they're really a nice, beautiful set of buildings. And this is the way it looks if you're driving down I-39 and you see the Nussbaum trucking facility here. This is an example of a variance. This is the Holder FS grain elevator there. They needed to get a variance to put another scale to make their circuitous loading and unloading taken care of, and they needed to put a variance where that pickup truck is located to the right of that large grain bin, and in order to do that they had to obtain a variance, and since then they've installed the new scale house there. This is an example of a mother-in-law quarters, or we called it call it a guest household unit. So it's in order to have two residences on a residential lot, it's limited in size up to 900 square feet, and it has to be attached to the main dwelling through some kind of a passageway where you don't go outside to get to the main house of the property. So this is the little passageway that you get to the main part of the house. This is a picture photo of the kitchen. And then you can see the upstairs right through the top of this photo, and that's what it looks like there. So we've had several of these built in the last few years. This was built this year. And as you recall, this is the situation we had out at Cropsey in 2019, and you see what it looks like there. And this photo was taken in November, and this was taken in December of 19. And this is what it looks like in July. So it's been cleaned up, as you can see. Also, we've had a significant construction of wind turbines this year. We had the EDP renewable wind farm completed in February and became operational in February. And this is a turbine blade being delivered for the Blooming Grove wind farm. And this is where they take it to the site where they assemble them on the ground, and then they put them up. And then this is what the turbines look like. And this is from the EDP renewables facility that was completed this year. And this is an operating and maintenance facility for the EDP renewable facility. This is located south of Lexington, and it's right next to the electric substation, which you can see here. And both Blooming Grove and Brightstock run their electricity through the substation, and that's how they get it onto the electricity grid. And then so from there, I'll go right to the budget. And if you see your attachment for the Department of Building and Zoning, under filing fees for subdivisions and zoning, they're pretty flat. Now for permit fees, because we had 94 turbine permits issued this year, it's the most turbines we've ever issued in 1 year. The fees totaled $845,000 and $436 in the total of fees for a construction value of 94 turbines at $282 million. In terms of the abandoned property program, we haven't really been able to work on that since we've lost our planner. We don't have really the personnel to work on that part of the project. So we still have kept it in the budget, but we haven't been participating in it. Now, with regard to personnel, we had requested an additional person, but as you know, the county board nixed those ideas. But our department has gone from 5 persons in 2010 to 4 persons in 2017, and no, we've gone down to 3 in 2017, excuse me. So it makes it kind of difficult for our business to operate when we've had significant growth over the last couple of years. And we have, well, you kind of get some of the complaints that we have to deal with. In terms of materials and supplies, we've kind of kept our budget as requested. We lowered it slightly. In terms of service, everything has gone down too, except we do have an increase in our telephone budget because we've kind of been over the budget for the last 3 years. And in terms of capital assets, we have none again. That's all I have to present for the department budget.
All right, I got my papers here. All right. All right, so that's item 5A, Phil. You went through everything on item A that you want to discuss.
Yes.
Okay, Camille.
I don't have anything else to bring up, but I would look for your permission, Chairman Erickson, to see if the membership have questions for county administration or Mr. Dick about action item 5A. I know we also haven't put it on the floor with a motion and a second yet.
I
either.
suppose I should probably do that next. Can I have a motion to approve action item 5A? I have a motion by member Beard, second by member Chung. All right, questions? Member Beard?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Dick, for that presentation. It's really neat to see the growth and what's happening in rural McLean County. So I appreciate those photos. My question's I want to get your perspective on the permitting fees and how looking forward over the next few years, because I think our budget is based on our anticipation of when those fees are going to be paid, when the turbines are going to be installed. So for 2019 and now for 2020, we're collecting more fees than we anticipated. This means that they're ahead of schedule, and are we potentially looking for a reduction in like 2021, 2022, 2023? Or can you talk through that? Because we've been so far over the last 2 years with them going up, are we going to see a tail in a couple of years? Thank you.
It will go down next year. We have never been as high as we were in 2020 in the history of our department. 94 turbines is a lot of permits in 1 year. Next year, we do, as I indicated, expect to have 57 more turbines, so it'll go down somewhat. And very conceivably, we have others that will come in 2022. After 2022, I don't know if there will be any more, but that's quite a ways out.
Okay, so the 2 farms we approved over the last couple of years, we think they'll be done by 2022?
The 2 farms that we have will be done by the end of this year.
Okay, so 2022 is potentially things that you've heard about, but that haven't gone before the committee or the board yet?
The project for 2021 hasn't gone to the board yet either. But I have talked with somebody. There is something being proposed. And for 2022, I have talked to somebody, and there's something being proposed.
Okay.
I can't really share too many specifics on it because it's generally confidential because we want people to be able to ask us questions about things without people coming in and being able to know their private business.
Sure, that's fair. I'm wanting to make sure that the estimate for next year, the 456 of what we're getting, is that pretty accurate based on you knowing how many permits are still out there for the projects that we've approved?
They are not for projects that we've approved, but they are for projects that are likely to be approved, unless they don't get approved.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. I'll take roll call. Mike.
You bet. Building and zoning budget.
I'm voting.
Thank you. Member Wachinski,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Beard,
Yes.
Member Wendt,
Yes.
Member Wendt, Member Woolrab,
Unmuted.
Member Woolrab,
Yes.
Member Erickson.
Yes.
Passes. Member Erickson.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda is item 5B, review of the fiscal year 2020 recommended budget for the solid waste management program. I guess county administrator.
Yes, again, I look to turn this over to Mr. Dick for any highlighted areas of interest for the membership, and then we'll go from there. Phil?
out of this budget comes $31,123 for the Ecology Action Center to help coordinate solid waste. And this is a shared expense with the city of Bloomington, the town of Normal. And then out of this budget also comes $14,400 for household hazardous waste. And there's one other item that has not yet been figured out, as far as I know, in terms of this part of the budget, having to do with the town of Normal has been collecting drop boxes at several places, including the Jewel in the town of Normal, where people from Bloomington, Normal, and the unincorporated area, and even other areas, small municipalities in the county, where they drop their glass and metal and well, we all drop it off the paper, and most of it goes to Midwest Fiber there. They have been paying the cost, and they're asking for the city of Bloomington and the county to help share in that cost, and our share will be a portion of that. And Camille is working with the city managers to determine what that share would be, and she's going to let us know where she has in mind for those funds to come from.
Thank you, Phil. I can say to Chairman Erickson and the Land Use Committee that at this time, county admin is recommending to keep the budget as it is, and as we continue in those negotiations with the town and talk with the city, we may be coming back with some alternatives to cover what the Ecology Action Center is recommending as an increase in our contribution. They have a report that was presented at the last Solid Waste Committee, which would allude to increased usage by county residents of this service. And so because the timing of receipt of that report was at about the same time that county admin was presenting this recommended budget to you, we wanted to consider other alternatives versus increasing levy for this particular line item. And so we're continuing to talk, and we will at this point leave the allotment where it is, but it could be that we're going to come up with some creative ways to be congruent with the recommendations in that report, and we will share more with you as time goes on.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve item 5B? I got a motion by member Chung, a second by member Beard. Questions, discussion? Member Woolrab.
Thank you, Mr.
Unmuted.
Chair. I don't know if you're having problems on your end hearing me. I've got some connectivity problems here, I guess. I'm just curious if some point during 2021 or even toward the end of 20, you come to some conclusion with the town of Normal on that, Ms. Rodriguez. Would we be able to find the money to assist with that? And where would that?
Yeah, I think you cut off a little bit at the end, Member Woolrab, but I heard you ask, had I considered where the additional dollars would come from? And yes, I think that there are a few strategies that administrative staff and I have been discussing, and that does include taking, at least for 2021, the difference out of fund balance so that the levy does not have to increase. The difference is around $7,000 more than we normally contribute. So we're fairly confident that we can come up with some strategies that will help us be a good neighbor and contribute as much as the data report shows that we should contribute without having to, recommend an increase in levy at this point. But we may have another alternative as well. Thank you.
Member Woolrab, do you have any more questions? We do have a delay. Okay. Yes. Is that a yes?
It looks like a yes. Yes, we are
Okay, go ahead.
experiencing a little delay with.
Yeah, we're having a little.
Go ahead. Experiencing a little delay with.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I have no more questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Any other member? Any comments? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead. I'm voting. Roll call.
Member Wachinski,
Yes.
member Chung,
Yes.
member Beard,
Yes.
member Went,
Yes.
member Woolrab. Member Woolrab.
Yes,
Chairman Erickson.
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. Okay, did you have anything else?
I do not, sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Did you have anything else?
I do not, sir.
Unmute. Item 6A is, we don't have any recent employment activities, do we?
Not for
No.
this particular committee.
Okay. Next item is item 6B. The next meeting date is 3:30 PM, Thursday, November 5th. The council will still be playing then, I hope, or maybe, we'll see what happens. We may have to see about the meeting time at that time. Item 6C, any other items of information? All right, seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.